Fortnites, and today we're going to be looking at two new SceneSquares. We have race training on the left, and on the right we have the Fortnite Durr Burger. So let's get right into this one. So first we're going to be looking at the Fortnite Durr Burger. So you guys can see that this is not a regular sized scene square. It is a lot bigger than 10 by 10. I think it's about 15 by 15, I believe. And the reason is this Durr Burger by itself is 10 by 10, which means that it's probably not 15 by 15. But this Durr Burger itself is 10 by 10. Like, you guys can see the comparison there. But it's literally the size of a scene square, so I didn't want a scene square that's just this giant Durr Burger that would be like out of place. So I kind of mixed two things for this one. I made the desert, like when the Durr Burger was found in real life, but I made the characters from the actual game. So now we're gonna look at some of those characters. So first up we have the Black Knight. You can see he's got the plunge in his hands. Just use a little bit, putty, the same one that I used on Scrooge McDuck's hat, to put the sword on there, which I'll have to put back on there right now. But I used a skeleton's face from Ninjago to give it the red glowing eyes under there. Just the regular knight's face, and the torso print is the one from Guardians of the Galaxy. So you can see that right there. It's one of the villains from Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, that's just the Black Knight. So moving on, we have two together kind of. We have the Rustlord and the John Wick. So the Rustlord is usually pushing the shopping cart. So here we have a little shopping cart build that I have John Wick crouching on. Very interesting way to make a Lego minifigure crouch. You have to take the legs, put them on backwards, and then take a leg off and just set it in front of it. And then when you put them together, then it looks like someone is crouching. You'll see more of that in the Star Wars mock that I made a sneak peek for. You can see that the face is from a Durr from The Hobbit, just regular suit, and he's got two pistols for the dual pistols that are in the game. But I couldn't find them in gray, so they're just black, so it's not the most accurate, but it works, and the shopping cart actually rolls. So it's good. Well, I mean, when you have a person on it, it doesn't roll too well, but it works. And then next we have the Rustlord. So for the mask part, we used one of the knights from Nexo Knights. They have this one, I think it's the green one. I don't know his name because I never was really into Nexo Knights. But I used that mask piece, just a silver helmet and a black head. And then we just have the torso from Star-Lord, because that's what he's based off of. And just the pants are, I just swapped them out with the ones that I had on the first Fortnite mock guy, the blonde-haired one. I traded them out for these, and on the blonde-haired guy, I just have regular tan legs on him now. So yeah. That is how I made these minifigures, and let's get on to the actual mock. So moving on to the actual mock, we can see the Durr Burger here. Very interesting build. Well, I said that weird. But very interesting build. So for the bottom, I use this certain color of like reddish brown for the patty, and then just yellow for the cheese, and then just red for the tomato and the tongue. So this actually opens up, so I wanted to get at that angle that you see it at. And then these are just some Mixel eyes on the top, in the olive, which is a pretty interesting build. You guys can just see that right there. That just hooks on with a 2x2 jumper plate that is orange. Lots of extra room around here, because if I made this just a 10 by 10, it wouldn't really fit in anywhere. There wouldn't be any room to post figures. So I made it a lot wider so I can put tons of figures on it. And I doubt we're going to be making more scene squares this size, but I just needed one. It still connects on most sides. You can see it here and here and there and over there. So it still works as a scene square, but it's probably going to be the only huge one that we do. But we might do some more in the future. But I just had this plate that's on the bottom that's huge, and I wanted to use that, and the Durr Burger is just massive. But yep, that's it for the Fortnite Durr Burger one, and let's move on to race training. So this is race training. It looks a lot smaller compared to the Durr Burger one, since the Durr Burger one was so massive. But yeah, very simple. Just have this archway in the background. I based it off the one that I built in the Star Killer base, because they go really well together if you just put them back to back like this, and it works out pretty well. Or you can do it how I do in the end when I put them together. Oh, Kylo Ren just fell off. But in the end, when I put all the SceneSquares together, you can see that I'll put it together this way so it looks more like a hallway across the gap, or a, I don't know, what do you call it, like a catwalk. So now, focusing back on the actual race training SceneSquare, you can see that there's just that arch in the background with tons of greebling and stuff for the rocks. I'll move Luke so you can see that a little bit better. And then we just have Rey. There's some water down here. I raised it up a little more so that you could see that the water was below them. And there's this little axle down here, and if you twist Rey, you can knock over that pole. So this is like the first action feature, I guess you would call, in a SceneSquare. And you can just hit that over and over, and it doesn't actually fall off, so you can just set that back up. So yeah, this might be one of my favorite SceneSquares, just because it's one of the most accurate to the scenes. And I'm not going to look over the minifigures because they're the same one from the Octo training set. So yeah, very simple here. She just rotates on this little jumper, 2x2 jumper, which you just set it on. So yeah, very simple, and let's see how they connect to the full-on SceneSquares mod. So now you guys can see where I put them. So right here I have race training. I did the catwalk thing from the Star Killer base over to that, and I put it right next to the Kashyyyk block and the Lilo and Stitch one, because the water just blends square to square. You can see that right there. And then I just connected the Stitch one over there and the Aladdin one to that one, so there can be more desert and stuff, and it still can connect here. I might have to change that, move that over so that it can connect better with SceneSquares, but it should still work for now. Most of the other stuff is the same, I think, for now. The bad lighting though, this is not how I usually record, but yeah, most of the stuff is the same with the Minecraft, the Poison Ivy, the clone base. I think I moved the sky over here from the Toy Story one from there to here, but I mean, there's not that big of a difference. So yeah, that's pretty much where the SceneSquares are at for now. Yeah, so we'll just cut back to the end of the video with the mocks just by themselves. So before we end this video, I just want to show you a little update that I've added to the Aladdin mock. I've made this minifigure here, which is one of the Royal Guards. Pretty basic, just used one of the minifigure series hats here, and the body is from the Rancor pit, then just white legs and a plain face with a beard, and I wanted it to be like a straight beard, not like a ragged, because it looks more cartoony, and it kind of fits really well. Added this sword from, I think, Prince of Persia or one of the Egyptian sets. So yeah, I just added him to the Aladdin mock. So if I ever make another Aladdin mock in the future and you see him there, you'll know where it came from. So now it is the end of the video. I have both of the mocks set up here. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. I'm almost to 100 subs in about less than a year. And I've gotten tons of views on my Fortnite video, and that's why I really wanted to make this SceneSquare. And I've been working hard to make that Durr burger so that it looks like the one in the game, so that if you are here from the other Fortnite video, you can check this out and you'll like it too. So yeah, that's kind of it for this. Sorry I posted a little late. I posted like a week late because I only post like once a month. But I was on a trip, so I couldn't really record or post, and I had to work on this a little more. So tell me what you guys think of the bigger SceneSquares. I probably won't do more of them. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. Thank you, Lunarianites. Lunarian out.